What's up, guys? Welcome to Real Estate Podcast, episode 120. Here with Griffin.
I'm here with Travis.
And I'm here with Adam.
This week we watched The Lords of Chaos.
Lords of Chaos. Oh, I spit some yogurt out, sorry.
Black Meadow. Travis, you were right. They take forever to die.
They do, though.
Especially the guy that looked like a principal from what movie was that? Let's see. You know what I'm saying? The guy that followed him outside and was he looked so familiar. It wasn't him, but he favored another actor. You know what I'm talking about?
Right.
That bald dude that did all those movies back in the day.
Yeah.
I'll find him. Anyway.
So this movie's kind of been on our radar for a little bit, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen the trailer, and you know, we were excited about it whenever we saw the trailer because this is something that when you grow up in the kind of music scene that we gravitated towards, these were all myths that I heard. I don't know if y'all heard any of them, but I did,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, have you heard that band where the singer like killed himself, because when I was first told it, it was like the guitar player
Killed everybody.
killed the singer.
Right? That's what I heard.
Well, he killed the singer, shot him in the head. Then before he called the cops, he took his brain out, what was left, and cooked it and ate it.
That's what I heard, that he killed him.
Yeah. So that was what I heard growing up.
But we got facts.
Yeah. Well, based on the truth, lies, and what really happened, right? Ain't that how it opened up?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of those things that that I heard, and then it was like, oh my God, could you imagine that? And then they used the picture of the vocalist that was dead as the album cover, like all this other crazy
Actually Googled
shit.
that. You can see that.
The picture
there.
of the
Yeah.
How crazy is that?
I would think it would have to be illegal. I mean, right?
Not if you put it out yourself, I don't guess.
So, did they call the cops?
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't
so.
show that part.
I mean, they'd have to, though, right?
I mean, if I'm a cop, I got some questions. Who moved the gun? Who moved the knife? Who moved the body? What are you doing with that camera?
Well, they might not have. Because he was from Sweden.
Somewhere like that.
So, I mean, he just kind of showed up there. I'm sure that he was just like not being tracked. You know what I mean? Like his his dad or whatever calls him. While that shit's happening. But
we know they didn't bury his body because you can go online and read about him dying. Like, he didn't just disappear.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
So the cop, I guess they just didn't show it. I was waiting. I was like, is he going to call 911 or 311, whatever they dial?
I think it's 999. Oh, 118-999. It's a different country.
I enjoyed this movie.
I did too.
Really
I really did.
Cool to see a movie like
that. It highlighted like a lot of, like you were saying, Griffin, like a lot of the more coming from the States, it's more mythical than just an event that went down, as you get closer to Norway.
Yeah.
So it's incredible how it took. Like, no one figured out that Varg was doing the burnings. Like, how did they allow him to burn almost all of fucking Norway down?
I know, right?
On their Wikipedia page, you can see several of the pictures of the churches that he burned down. Like, before he burned them down, they were all like really old.
Yeah.
That motherfucker was crazy. Well, still is.
Yeah.
We'll get to that later.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute for sure.
Yeah, that dude's nuts.
Yeah.
But like, remember at the beginning of the movie, like he wasn't that crazy. He was just kind of like, like he looked up to him.
Yeah.
Like he wanted to be in the band.
He did.
He kind of turned him against him throughout the movie. Like,
yeah.
All right, bad lieutenant decision was taking credit for everything when you didn't have nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
I mean, he was just slapping his name on everything.
Well, and this is what I told Adam a minute like earlier, right before you got on, Trav, because we were kind of talking back and forth about it. But was it not like this dick measuring contest that nobody wanted to back down from?
It pretty much was.
I mean, it's like neither one of them was really into it. Like, the only reason I think Varg got so into it as he did was just to prove that
he was the baddest.
Yeah, that he was more metal or more whatever. Like that's so. And because you see his transition in the movie, like, well, it's kind of a transition, but not really. The idea of like he comes to the he goes to the show, and then he meets him after the show, and he's like
calls him a fucking poser.
Yeah, and then he leaves, and then a couple years later,
the patch off his jacket.
Yeah, like a year or so later, he shows up at the record store, and he's like, I want you to check out my band and all this stuff. He gives him the fucking tape.
He really wasn't into it then. You could see he was just sitting in their little, what do they call that thing? What was that thing?
The inner black circle?
Yeah, their little hangout.
Yeah,
that little room they had down there, which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
He was just kind of sitting there like he didn't want to drink.
No,
I don't think I ever saw him drink the whole movie.
No, he was kind of straight edge, right?
He didn't eat meat.
Yeah, he didn't drink.
He'd been straight edge.
Yeah. And then, like, whenever you see the girl show up, and then he's like flirting with Euronymous, is like flirting with the girl.
You want to take my picture?
Yeah. And then the guy's like, why don't we all stay down here? And it's like, okay, he's gonna like be kind of like the good guy, quote unquote. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I thought. He was like,
yeah,
being nice.
But no, he said, take your fucking clothes off. I was like, holy shit! Like, this dude, it was a dick measuring contest that nobody wanted to back down from.
He says, "What are you, fucking stupid?"
Yeah. And she's like, no, I'm not. She took her clothes off.
Yeah. It's fucking crazy.
I mean, I know the story topper thing of it, the measuring contest of it all. I think it was also a story about this kid that had an idea that attracted some incredibly unstable people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Incredibly.
Well,
unstable.
you can kind of apply that to any like subgenre if you want to, because think about it, like, even like, we've seen movies, we've heard of like, these like music scenes that start out as like music scenes, and then it kind of goes into a weird direction to where it just kind of gets out of hand. It might not get out of hand on this level where they're burning fucking churches down and killing people, but I don't know. It's like aggressive music is an outlet for damaged people, if you want to look at it that way. But sometimes the damaged people get too wrapped up in it,
way too caught up in it,
and they take it way too far. You know what I'm saying? And you could even say that about the scene around here. You see people that get way too into it, and they take it way too far.
Yeah, it's like, dude, get a life.
Yeah, like, chill
Well,
out.
like, I don't know. I think it shows this really weird thing that occurred where a series of really brutal acts of vandalism, murder, and all of that laid the foundation alongside like a genre that went from this real horrible thing, like this series of things that went on, and how it translates from Norway as it reaches the States, where it's just this processed media that like entertainment.
Yeah.
Like you're getting into music. Like I don't mean like you support what's happened, but like it's almost like it's just a piece of like horror pop culture.
Yeah.
What was really cool was whenever the crew got back together and they were like, dude, he fucking burned a church down. See, it was on the news. I remember he was sitting there eating a sandwich and he burned his church down, and then he was standing in the record shop with all of his buddies, and like he was like, he was just thinking to himself, he's like, he just made us all like a bunch of little bitches.
Yeah.
And then when he finally came into the room, they had that standoff.
Yeah.
When he first walked in, they looked at each other in the eyes. He's like, I've been saying this for years.
Yeah.
I'm the one that put this in your head. And he's like, yeah, but I'm the one that fucking did it. Like,
right.
It was really weird, man. Like it just got out of hand.
Yeah.
I mean, really.
Yeah, it got way too far out of hand.
Well, like him wanting to go to the police. I mean, the reporters. It's like, dude.
Yeah. You fucking done
crazy?
shit.
Like,
yeah. Like, give me a break.
Ruined everything.
Yeah. If
We're
he
getting a
would
little
have
ahead of ourselves there, but
yeah, yeah. So, well, let's. All right. So, Mayhem is the band, right? That's who we're kind of following here. Euronymous, or how Eris, whatever you want to call him. Like he's in the band.
The creator of fucking Norwegian black metal.
Yeah.
I mean, really.
And it shows. It opens with like them kind of looking for a vocalist. Like he says, he's got the best drummer in Norway.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the best bass player in Norway. All they need now is a killer vocalist.
I like when that drummer was like, "I'm out," and threw his sticks over his shoulder, and he just went disappeared. I was like, "That's kind of cool."
Yeah, that was really cool. And they get this fucking letter in the mail.
Oh my god!
Package.
What's that smell?
Yeah, it stinks apparently because they're acknowledging the smell coming out of it. They open it up and they find inside a crucifix with a rat nailed into it, a dead rat
with maggots on it.
Yeah, and they hurry up and throw it out the fucking window.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Don't throw the tape out. Keep the tape." Look, I wouldn't even have been thinking about the tape at that point.
Dude, that's one hell of a calling card right there, man.
I know, right? You fucking you set the scene big time right there.
Yeah, the bar is high.
Oh yeah. So they put it in, and he was like, "This is the greatest fucking vocalist I've ever fucking heard."
Yeah.
Like we've got to fucking have him. And they fly. He was from Sweden, I think, right?
Yeah, he hopped off a bus.
Yeah. So he was. He showed up, and they all get this house in the middle of the woods.
Yeah.
That they're all living, and dude, they are fucking trashing the place.
There's flies everywhere.
Yeah.
There's a dead cat hanging in the vocalist's. He hated cats apparently.
They said that they said that he was very depressed.
Wait though, before we get to that, whenever he picked this guy up and they're in the car together, they're driving down the road. This is the first time they've ever met. He's just like, he's like, yeah, around here, this is where we're at. It's just normal everyday shit. Take you to the band house, Yeah. Dude looks out the window and just opens the door, dude. And he's like, what the fuck, dude? And he stops and he runs over there. Was it a fox?
I think so.
He picks up a dead fox, man.
Roadkill.
Yeah, that's like busted open and holds it up to his face and smells it. It's like, okay.
And then he looks back at dude and he holds it up like,
Yeah, like
what the fuck, man?
And that's when dude was just like, all right, I mean,
yeah. Oh, okay.
different strokes for different folks, man.
Yeah, right.
So then we cut to the house.
Yeah, so then they get to the house and then they're talking about how he has some depression
He died
issues.
once when he was a kid. He was
They
bullied.
said that he was bullied so bad that these kids beat him till he was dead, and then they brought him back to life, and he was, I guess, never the same after that. I'm guessing.
Clearly a cutter.
Yeah.
At one point you could see his arm, and he's got like 40
Yeah.
cuts on it. We'll get back to that in a minute too.
Yeah, right. Right here, and we see this in the movie. It's the drummer said before the shows, Dad used to bury his clothes into the ground so that they could start to rot and get that grave scent. He was a corpse on a stage. Once he even asked us to bury him in the ground. He wanted his skin to become pale. Like, this is the kind of guy that we're talking about here.
Yeah, he was really weird.
He was very, very odd individual.
Well, I think it points out that like these people believe the type of shit that they play.
Yeah.
Or
They
it
were
was
about
just
that
a
life.
level, or if it was, or it's just a dedication to an art form that's just completely fucked up. For people who are, if you're not familiar with that type of shit, or much less the gimmick of it all. But like to this group of individuals, clearly it wasn't a gimmick. Like it was how they conducted themselves.
Yeah, because I get doing that on stage in front of a crowd.
But they made and they made this point, and it was always little subtle things. They made you know that Euronymous had some parameters that he worked within. Like he never went too far. But it was always those around him that did.
Yeah.
And the film depicted him as the guy that like he would get to a certain point and he'd back off, then someone else would take the torch and drag his ass to the finish line whether he wanted to or not. And it's what makes the movie, it makes the story even more depressing, knowing that like he was rolling with a bunch of people that claimed to be like-minded towards him, but at the end of the day, they didn't get it the way he was. Like none of them were picking up really what he was putting down.
Yeah.
Like he still had that dedication to his artistic view of music and all that entails, and kind of the anti-imagery of pop music. Even through the movie explaining like they were very much anti thrash metal. They even threw out the word life metal to kind of broadly generalize all of it,
Yeah. Yeah, they took
and yeah,
it got out of hand.
certainly.
Incredibly.
But it shows one of their first performances, right? As a band. Where they had the fucking pig heads on stage, impaled on stage. That shit was crazy. Like, he was up there on stage cutting his arms open with whatever he had, and it was just bleeding all over the fucking crowd.
That was crazy.
That was intense. I mean, could you imagine doing that, Adam?
No.
And could you imagine just putting duct tape on these like severe gash wounds?
The way he was sitting at that table, he was just like, that was a bad idea.
Yeah. Why did I
that
do
hurt. He was in the fucking zone, dude. He put on a show.
Oh, he put on a show for sure.
They were getting ready to go to this gig, man. They had pig heads.
He went and dug his clothes up out of the ground. What about that one part where dude walks outside and Euronymous is looking at the window and he just takes all of his clothes off and starts walking into the fucking woods. Like, what the fuck? Where is he going? Like, what? I guess he's going to bury his fucking clothes somewhere. Not only that, but when they go out, he said dude was depressed, and he hated cats more than anything. There was a dead cat hanging in his fucking room. And he said, "Oh, there's a cat outside." He said, "Really?" And he jumps up. They grab the gun and they run outside to shoot this cat with a shotgun. And they couldn't find it. And he put the gun to his head. He's like, "Kill me. Nobody will know. Just shoot me." That was really awkward. Like you could tell dude got a little very, very uncomfortable during that situation. He's like, "Man, I don't want to fucking kill anybody." Like he wasn't about that shit.
Yeah, it was one of the first moments, I think, in the movie where it showed that dude was starting to surround himself with people who were taking the shit really serious. The whole fixated on death and that instead of relating to it in a way where you don't cause physical harm to anyone.
Yeah.
It's in that safe zone before you enter the realm of being mentally disturbed.
Yeah.
Where you acknowledge everything through the threshold, but you yourself are not going through it.
Yeah. You're peering through the other side. I wonder how many shows they played together before we get to that next part. I wonder if there's a way to tell. Well, he was in the band from 88 to 91. So for 2 years.
He kept that motherfucker on the edge of his seat.
Yeah, right.
I mean, dude put on a hell of a show. See, that was the thing, is once they took the stage,
Yeah.
the image was there. Like it was.
Yeah, it was something.
What he was working for was there, but then when they left the stage, he was like, "You motherfuckers are crazy, dude. Like this is a gig, man. It's all an act." But they were about that life. What would you guys have done? I believe I would have pulled the plug on the operation, man.
I would have had to distance myself from.
I mean,
I would have never got caught up in that shit to begin with.
I would have kicked Dead the fuck out.
I would have felt like after he killed himself, that would have been it.
Yeah. I'd been like, yeah, we're true Norwegian black metal, but you're not gonna be a part of it because you got issues, bro.
Yeah. Well, I think.
But I don't know. It's just a different. Do what?
He has a different set of issues. Like, you know how like you play with people and they just don't show up, or they fucking don't know the songs. He knew the songs. He showed up.
Yeah.
He just had a problem with killing cats. And
dude, when he went into his room, and he
just had a problem
there,
with being a functioning human being.
Yeah.
I thought he was dead when he went in his room. He was just laying there.
I know, I did too.
He was like, "Oh my God, there's a cat outside." And he was like, "What?"
Really?
That was weird. He had that dead cat hanging in his.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I don't care how good your vocals are.
Yeah. I mean, they have to be fucking amazing to be able to.
Dude, like when you go back and listen to that Norwegian black metal, that first shit, and then that right there just started generations and generations of other bands and other fucking black metal. Like,
yeah.
I mean, was that crazy that fucking made it?
Yeah.
Like,
notorious.
When you hear those songs, you're like, wow, yeah, I hear it. It's okay. But when you look at what they were surrounded by, the people and stuff, you're like, that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, one extreme always creates another, right?
Yeah.
To a certain extent. So, But after in the movie, after it shows that show they played, it just shows dude chilling in his room.
You can't get comfortable.
Did
you, Travis? Did you know it was coming when he's sitting there and he's
Yeah.
like he was getting all restless? I was like, oh man, he ain't comfortable in his own skin, dude.
No. So he gets up, walks over to his bed, gets this big ass fucking knife out.
Well, no, he was sitting
And-
on the floor.
Yeah, but the knife was on the bed.
That's right. He goes over to the floor, sits back down.
And then he goes down the street, not across the road.
He cut it.
From his
He cut it the
elbow to
right
his
way.
wrist. Yeah. So he cuts
And
his fucking
the look on his face when he did it, you could just see him like, oh, that was just.
Yeah.
He loved it.
Yeah. He was fucking infatuated with it.
Yeah.
And then not only that, he picks it up, cuts his fucking right arm.
Yeah, then he takes it to the other arm.
Now he's bleeding a lot. He's leaking.
Now, and then the thing about what makes this so terrible is that it's not a cutaway sequence. Like, you see him tear right down his fucking arm, you see skin split and blood flow. Like, it doesn't cut away through any of this. And it's incredibly
realistic.
It goes from minute. By the time this happens, you're ready for it, but you're still not, because this whole movie, you know, a lot of shit talking building up. People, you know, trying to act like, you know, act the part. And this motherfucker comes along, and even from the get go, you know, they make sure that in the back of your mind, you're like, man, this dude's off.
Yeah.
And then when this scene rolls along, you're like, God damn.
Yeah.
Because it already kind of tests the waters when they do the show and you see them, you know, blood spray the audience.
Yeah.
And then when this happens, you're like, wait a second, what the fuck? Like, he's actually carrying it out. And remember earlier, before they get out into the woods, with the gun, dude's laying there on the bed, and Euronymous takes that gun up to him and goes, if you're so fucking depressed, here, just blow your fucking brains out. Like, it's one bullet, that's all it takes.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to shoot him in the woods.
Which I think, now when it shows up next, which after he's, you know, cut both of his arms open.
And his throat.
Yeah. He fucking splits his throat open.
He's like, and
not dead yet.
For a minute there, it almost felt like there was a little bit of regret when he did the throat. I was like, oh, maybe he wishes he hadn't have done that.
No.
Goes over to the table. This scene is crazy because is that his dad that calls and leaves a voicemail?
I think so.
Hey, good news.
Yeah.
He's over there writing on a piece of paper.
Yeah, while he's bleeding out, he's writing a suicide note.
Y'all remember what it said?
They have his suicide note in full on Wikipedia. Like, it's.
Do you remember what the piece of paper said in the movie?
No.
It said something like this: "Sorry about the blood."
Yeah. Well, the suicide note opens with "Excuse the blood."
That's what it said.
But I have slit my wrists and neck. It was the intention that I would die in the woods so that it would take a few days before I was possibly found. I belong in the woods and have always done so. No one will understand the reason for this anyway. To give some semblance of an explanation, I'm not a human. This is just a dream, and soon I will awake. It was too cold, and the blood kept clotting. Plus, my new knife is too dull. If I don't succeed dying to the knife, I will blow all the shit out of my skull. Yet I do not know. I left all my lyrics by Let the Good Times Roll, plus the rest of the money. Whoever finds it gets the fucking thing. As a last salutation, may I present life eternal. Do whatever you want with the fucking thing. I didn't come up with this now, but 17 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
The note in the movie said, "Excuse the blood." Something like, "Now the party begins."
Yeah.
And then he walks over to this bed, sits down on this motherfucker. And I hate to say this like this, but we get one of the coolest.
Yeah.
They did a really good job.
Yeah, it was
This
very well
shit
done.
looked real as fuck, man.
Yeah, it did.
Like, I was just like, whoa. I mean, I'm like, this is Vice. Vice did this?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
When he put it right there on the corner, I was like, oh, I don't know if that's a good spot, man. It was a good spot.
Yeah, it ended it right there. Yeah.
What a letter.
I know, right? And that's the end of his saga. Like, that's the end of his fucking.
It just started.
Yeah, I know. But then Euronymous like leaves his house or his parents' house, I guess.
Throws away the fucking rubber tree.
Yeah.
Not interested.
Yeah, for whatever the fuck reason that was. And
I figured his parents gave it to him.
to
Little
put up
housewarming gift or something, you know.
Yeah.
The rubber tree
yeah.
to put liven the place up.
He ain't gonna be able to liven that up with the dead body laying on the
Yeah.
bed. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't even realize that when I.
But goes to the house, tries to get in. The door's locked. He's throwing rocks at the window to get Dead to come wake him up, or to come up in the door, wake him up so he can come up in the door. Never does. So he takes a ladder and crawls through the window of one of the upstairs windows, and then walks in the room and just sees him.
His face says it all.
Yeah. He was just like,
there's a fucking huge fucking blood circle on the floor.
Yeah.
Here's something else though, guys. I don't know if, like, the way it looked in the movie, like, all the band members were kind of still staying, like, with the parents.
Yeah, they were.
So Ed was living there kind of by himself. Like,
yeah,
probably not good to leave that dude alone.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean, look where he was living. It was a shithole, dude. Like,
yeah, I know.
Just saying.
Yeah. But yeah, he goes in there and finds him. Then he's like, all right, I'm gonna call the police.
Calls him.
Yeah, then hangs up. And then leaves. Goes to the store and has a bag, comes back in there, and it's like a bag full of like disposable cameras.
Mm-hmm.
And just starts taking pictures of the fucking
body.
Yeah. The crime scene. Then he starts moving the knife, the shotgun, and everything around. That's fucking crazy,
well,
man.
He was about to call the cops, and then he thought Norwegian fucking black metal.
Yeah, right.
And then I will say that whenever they come back after that, all right, you know, we just skip to body's gone, room's clean, big blood splatter. They're all getting out of the fucking house.
Yeah.
They're out front. The bass player. It looks like they're getting ready. They're moving their shit out.
Yeah, they are.
But he comes up and he's like, "All right, guys, check this out." He's got the pictures.
Yeah.
Now, whoever the fuck developed these pictures?
I know, right?
Because I'm like, Walmart will fucking no, sir. Like,
call the
they
cops.
They won't even like develop a titty, dude.
They'll
yank a titty, like
they'll yank a nipple in a minute.
They will.
Yeah.
He comes up with these pictures, dude. When he was looking through those pictures and talking to other guys, I was like, dude, this is kind of fucking fucked up, man. Like,
yeah.
Like the way he was like, we're gonna be so famous, like,
yeah,
the singer. And it's like, and then the other guy was like, dude, he's our friend.
Yeah, like, what the fuck, man?
That comes back to bite him later.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I got something for you guys. He pulls out these necklaces with what he says is the singer's skull.
Yeah.
He's got what, 4 of them, 3 of them?
Well,
there's 4 total, right?
Yeah, I think so.
And everybody in the band's got to wear it
at all times.
Yeah. And the bass player's like,
fuck that.
We have our first little power struggle here. He's like, nah, dude, that was my fucking band. And he said, yeah, you're right, it's your band.
He's out. Yeah.
Picks his bicycle up. It's like, where's he gonna ride that bike to?
I know, right? I wasn't expecting that shit to happen. The bicycle. Holy shit. And then then
That's the
do
end
like
of Mayhem, really. I mean,
yeah, we do
playing
like a
shows and
time
shit.
jump, right?
Yeah,
Um,
got a record shop.
he's got a record store. His dad loaned him the money to open a record store. The walls are painted black, the carpet's black,
It's pretty
everything in
fucking
this.
cool.
Yeah, I definitely hang out there.
Dude, he could have rode that out for the rest of his life.
Oh yeah, for sure.
If all of that shit hadn't happened, it happens
Yeah.
later, where dumbass, wants to be in the news and shit. Like, he could
Yeah.
have rode that out and then been this like living legend.
Yeah.
And people would still go there today.
Yeah.
To just
And
go in his shop and buy a record and
hang out. He'd still be alive.
Yeah.
For sure.
If none of that other stuff happened, because that's finally what sent him, he was just like, yeah, fuck all this.
Yeah.
He decided too much. I like this scene because right after this, he's got a record shop. So, this motherfucker decides, he's like, all right, I'm getting in. I won't hang out with the cool kids.
Yeah.
All right, so he goes in there. He's like, yo, what's your name? And he remembered it because y'all remember the first time they meet was at the party at their house, and he bumped into him, made him drop a beer.
Yeah.
So from then on, party foul.
Yeah.
He remembered that motherfucker, and then he was like, made fun of his, what was his little thing he had on his jacket?
The scorpion.
Yeah, the scorpion's patch.
Yeah. Then he made fun of that,
Yeah.
when they were in some restaurant or something, he made fun of it. And then he comes in the record shop, and he's like, I'm looking for the, where's the good stuff at? Where's the good stuff? And he's like,
it's here.
Yeah, I mean, only, it's in here. You got to find it. He said, but if you're a poser, you're not. I mean, I can't remember exactly what he said, but I was just like, oh, shit,
Yeah.
Like, if you're a poser, you're not going to find it.
Yeah. He said, why do you sell this shit? And he goes, well, people buy that shit.
Yeah.
Like he's a business owner,
Yeah. Well, it just goes back to the whole fact that it's all just an act. Like,
yeah, I mean,
even when he was being a dick to him before.
Yeah.
Playing rock star, man.
Yeah. So, but he drops off the demo tape. He says that he's got his own record label and everything, and that he's, looking for talent or whatever. And then he goes into the back office after the guy, throws the records on the counter, and they start listening to them and everything.
Pretty cool records too.
Yeah. And he's got this map on the wall, and it's like all those pins are like pen pals that I have in other countries that send me demos, like different types of demos and stuff, and I send them stuff in return. Like, it's kind of genius. Like,
it really is, dude.
Underground music all over the world.
Yeah.
He's like, they're hateful, or there's people that hate all over the world or something like that.
Well, it's shit that nobody's ever going to put out there.
Yeah.
But there's a market for it.
Yeah.
That's that hard to get shit.
Yeah.
They only made 10 copies. And they made it by hand.
Yeah. But he drops his demo off, and then it
cuts to him in the house. You talking about when he comes outside?
Yeah. They're sleeping in the record store. Now, this guy that's sleeping, that lives in the bottom bunk, is always watching horror movies. They show Evil Dead like 16 times in this
And he
movie.
was watching Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I think it was in this scene.
Yeah.
He was sitting there watching that, and then it was showing a dude getting stabbed in the back.
Yeah.
Because he's the guy that was like, I wonder what it feels like to stab somebody.
Yeah.
He's
How
like,
much force do you
should
need?
try. I mean,
you
should do that. Like, he was just kidding.
Yeah. Like,
this was a joke.
Yeah. But he listens to it, runs outside in his underwear. And there's that woman out there for the Salvation Army ringing that fucking bell. He's in his fucking tidy whitey. Yeah, right. He runs out there, knocks on dude's window. He's like, this is fucking amazing. He's like, take it somewhere else because I don't have any money. He's like, oh,
Right.
I can get the money.
My mom's got the money.
Yeah. And it shows them like go into the studio.
Yeah, we get like a little, like a little montage here of shit going on.
Yeah.
Shit's picking up. The scene's doing good. Record store's filling up.
Yeah.
When they're going into that studio and all those women are coming out, he's like, I want to fuck that one.
And does this not, like, whenever you see this stuff happening, like when we were in school, wearing the band shirts, wearing whatever we were wearing, and you see people that look at you like, and you just embrace it, and you're like, I'll fucking kill everybody.
Yeah.
They were acting like kids. They were kids.
They were.
But, I mean, they really were. I don't even know how old he was when he died.
I think that one dude,
25.
yeah, the one dude was like real young when he shot himself.
He was 22.
Yeah.
Yeah. He committed suicide in 91. And then, so all this happens in the span of 2 years.
Yeah.
Everything that we're fixing to talk about. But they go into the studio and he was like, Varg. That's what he goes by, Varg.
He had
And he's
another
like,
name. I can't remember.
Christian.
No.
The
What was
Count.
that name? Nah, that weird ass Norwegian name.
Uh,
Y'all know what I'm talking about. It's in the movie.
Varg. Hold on.
It was really long.
Count Grishnock.
Yeah, there you go. Grishnock.
Grishnock. What a fucking name, Grishnock.
Varg.
So he goes into the studio and he's like, I want one mic right in the middle. And dude's like, that's gonna sound fucking awful. And he goes, that's the point. So I'm guessing he records the whole first Burzum album with one mic in the center of the fucking room.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
and that's why it sounds like it's in a coffee can.
I mean, could you imagine doing that today?
No.
If I come to you and I'm like, Adam, I got this idea. We're gonna put one mic up.
Go somewhere else. I'm broke.
Could you imagine recording like that, Trav?
I think I have before.
Yeah, we've done shit like that.
But like to put it out, press it. He
did it on purpose.
Yeah, he did do it on purpose, though.
We did it because we only had one mic
in the center of the room.
Yeah. We didn't even know how fucking black metal we were back then. We're talking one like a computer mic too, like.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That's funny. But then it shows he gets the album in, like.
Oh, this is the first. This is when shit started to go sour.
Yeah.
It went south here, dude.
So he said, how will people know it's here? And he's like, I mean, they'll see it in the window.
Dude. When he opened the album, he said, wait, this is a misprint.
Oh, yeah.
Why does it say this? And he said, because I told him to change it. He's like,
why?
Oh, he didn't like that shit, dude.
No, not at all.
This dude was really good at looking at him like he was going to kill him later.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean? Y'all know what I'm talking about? He would just look at him, dude, and just, his eyes would burn holes through that motherfucker.
Yeah. He had some strong eyes.
But he didn't give this motherfucker a penny for these records.
No.
He was selling his records. He told him he sold a lot of them. He never got a dime.
No.
So he fucked him a little bit here. He fucked him.
Yeah.
He put his name all over it. He really didn't have anything to do with it other than he was just there. Like,
yeah.
So this dude, Varg, played drums, bass, guitar, and did vocals on all those records.
That's crazy,
Impressive.
Right? I mean, he spent all that time, God knows how long, Like,
Oh, he still makes music.
oh yeah, oh yeah, he does. But that's fucking nuts.
I mean,
that
how
he-
would you feel, man? You go in, you do a record, you know, shit's popping.
Yeah.
It's Foot Rot Records.
Foot,
And
foot right.
is that
I
what it's
like
called,
that.
Travis?
Yeah.
That was a real label. That label was as real as this dude's label was. You know, you go in, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? So you go in, you do something,
Yeah.
you get your record back, guys, and it's like, oh, this is not the title that I had for the record. And the dude that's done nothing but just ride your coattails the whole. I mean, everything you do, he's just like it was his idea.
Yeah,
Change the title of your record. I mean, how pissed would you have been?
I know.
See, the partnership should have been over at that.
Yeah, but
Kept going.
yeah, it certainly did keep going. But yeah, they're having that conversation outside the record store, like marketing. He's like, you're good at the marketing. You're good at all this shit. And he's like, no, that's on you. Figure it out.
Mm-hmm. Kind of
But
being a dick.
he fucking figured it out, didn't he?
Yeah, dude.
Like big time figured it out.
How many churches did he burn down?
Let's see.
Dude, how fucked up you gotta be to burn a church down? Whether you like a church or not.
Yeah.
I mean, was it all promotion or did he really? Because, dude, when he would burn these churches down, y'all know that laugh he had?
Yeah.
The little giggle puss?
Yeah. So
Like, he enjoyed. I mean, but at the end of the day, was it all promotion or was he just into it? I think that first time he went in and burnt one down, you know, it's like, you know, dude, when you set something on fire
yeah,
and it burns, you know, there's some, like, it's like,
some fascination with it.
yeah, dude, I like burning shit. But I would, you know, I wouldn't do something like this, but
No.
standing there, dude, watching the damn, you know, 100-year-old church
Yeah.
burn to the ground, I think he got off on it, man.
He
Y'all
burnt
think
down
that's when it
3.
started? He started getting like that. Is that where his evil started kicking in when he turned into this fucking pyromaniac?
I think that certainly contributed to it by a big.
Well, once he started doing that, he was just like, I can do whatever I want.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get caught.
I
Does it
burned
say
the
how
fuck-
many he burned down?
3.
They did more than 3 in the movie.
It says here, I googled it. How many churches did Varg burn down?
It's funny that was there. Like, they were like,
Yeah.
oh,
It says 3 churches. So, but no, it shows him burn 3 down because
Yeah.
he burns the first one down and he puts
and then
the
they go back
rabbit-
together, and then when he stabs the guy, they go back.
Yeah. So
They
yeah,
did that
burn-
third one that was like a celebration. They were like, we got to celebrate. He's like, let's burn a fucking church down.
yeah, right.
Dude, like, we're just going to get some beers, man, and
He's like, no,
maybe
fuck
watch the
that.
game.
No, we're burning churches today, motherfucker. Like,
That kind of got funny throughout the movie where it's like, you know what we should do? We should burn a church down.
Yeah.
You should burn a church down with me. Let's burn this church down because this building's, you know, like.
They had a little
They kind
bonding
of got over
moment
the
there
top.
when they burnt that church down together. And then, you know, Macaulay Culkin. We haven't mentioned the fact that this is Macaulay Culkin's brother.
I know, right?
And he's probably a better actor than Macaulay Culkin. Like,
He was really
did a
fucking good.
really good job.
Yeah,
But he looked like him, man. Like,
yeah,
especially like now that McCulkin's older,
yeah.
they you know, they're like, you can tell. Which if you go look, he's got like 5 or 6 brothers. They all look alike. They all
came
got
out
those
of the fire.
eyes, that face, man, with those eyes. That's the eyes.
Yeah.
They all look like heroin addicts. But I mean, they do, right?
Yeah. I mean, kind
Man,
of.
this dude could play, you know, He's gonna be in the next Train Spotting.
Oh God. So anyway, like he's burning churches down. The dude decides that he's like, fuck it, I'm gonna stab somebody to death. Like he goes out looking for somebody to stab too. You could kind of tell.
Yeah, he went to the bar. Oh, he was in there looking.
Yeah, looking for somebody to fucking.
And the wrong motherfucker rolls up and just like.
Yeah.
As soon as he lit, I knew what was going on. As soon as he walked, and then for a minute there, I was like, "Do they know each other? Has this been?"
I don't know. That's what I thought. I thought it was something that was going on.
Is this the reason why he dresses this way?
Yeah.
Did someone touch him when he was a kid?
Something.
But then, Creepy Joe, what I'm gonna call him, rolls up on him, like starts touching him. He's like, "Not here. Let's go over here and do it."
And I knew
that dude was like, "Mm-hmm." Oh, I knew he was dead, man.
Yeah.
He said, "Let's go into the woods."
And he stabbed the shit out of this guy.
Now, you know, I know it was someone being stabbed to death.
Yeah.
But
damn.
For a minute there, how funny was that shit? Like,
yeah.
The dude got up and was stumbling. I mean, it was just like, I'm like, dude, there's no way. Like, you'd be dead. Like,
yeah.
I mean, stop getting up because he's gonna stab you more.
Yeah, just play dead. You'll be fine.
He stabbed the shit out of him, dude. And that noise it made when it went in.
Yeah.
Every time it was just like, oh, I was watching this shit with headphones on. I heard it. I could hear the celery crunching.
You heard each impact.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
So he stabbed this guy because Euronymous said, maybe you should stab someone.
Yeah, like a passing comment.
Was a joke.
Yeah. Not only that, then he shows up later and he's like, stabbed somebody last night. Like that. They're watching.
No, dude, they come in and it's on TV and he's like, that was me.
Yeah. And he's like, you did it for the scene.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah.
Arg was so happy. He's like,
was.
finally.
Somebody killed somebody.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Like, what the fuck, man?
I'm glad I didn't grow up in this scene. That's for damn sure.
I know, right?
They would have stabbed me fucking 3 days in. I'd be like, I don't know, guys. This is a bad idea.
Come here, Adam. Let's go talk in the woods.
Got something out here we want to show you.
Yeah, I bet you do.
We found a big bag of money.
Yeah.
I'm like, money?
Really? You go trotting off through the woods?
So look, dude. We're burning churches. That's one thing. Sure, you're burning down a church. That's kind of fucked up. But nobody's getting hurt.
No.
It's a church.
Right.
Now we're killing people.
Yeah. Now, motherfuckers
it's too
are
much.
dying. And they celebrate the killing by burning another church down.
That whole exchange right there.
Yeah.
He was like, you fucking did it, man. And then, like, Euronymous is just kind of like, yeah, you did it. Like, he's like, you know, like,
easy.
Have somebody, dude? Like,
yeah.
Really? That's you did that? And fucking Borg's over here like, fucking burning the church, baby. Like, he couldn't wait. He's like, we got to celebrate, dude. All three of us have to burn a church down together.
Yeah.
Man, this is,
yeah.
Like I said, let's just get a few beers, man. I thought we'd have a couple of Heinekens.
Yeah.
Eat some popcorn.
Yeah. Watch Die Hard 2.
Yeah, because yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, shit.
What about, though, I just want to touch on this for a second. When they're in the second church, when they go in, he's got the bomb. I'm like, what the fuck? Where do you get a bomb? He's got this fucking Casio, like,
calculator,
portable, airport alarm clock.
Yeah.
Thing on, dude. When he was playing with that shit, I was like, dude, it's gonna fucking blow up, dude. Put it down.
Even the guy was like, you don't need to be fucking with
Yeah,
it.
Euronymous was getting nervous and he started ripping up pages and he was just like, fuck yeah, dude, burn the Bible, and it was like, all right, yeah, man, whatever to get the fuck out of here. Like, he just wanted him to put it down. He's like, just put it down.
Yeah, stop doing what you're doing.
What's crazy is they built these churches in this movie to burn the fuck down. Because that one was on fire, dog.
Yeah.
That shit was burning down. Like, that was real. And then they start kicking over headstones. Like, they just had a little Grave Robbers USA. a little silly goose time. Just start knocking over headstones and shit, dude. Like,
what'd you do? Might burn a church later.
yeah,
You know, I don't know.
feeling cute, might burn a church, dude. We gotta find an old picture of him.
Wait,
just
I've got
there,
it. I've got
like
the
feeling
picture.
cute, might burn a church down later. Might burn a church later. I don't know. IDK.
Hold on, I've got the picture. Keep talking.
There's nothing funny about burning a church down, but his little giggling. He was way too into it, man. And then they were like hanging around. Dude, if I was standing outside and someone set a church on fire, I'd be like, we got to get out of here.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to call the cops.
Oh,
Which one of you mentioned this to me that I think it was you, Travis, like you're watching this Norwegian black metal movie, but everyone yeah, dude, that's it. But everyone in the movie sounds like they're from like California. Like,
yeah.
was that you, Trav?
I think I mentioned.
Was it you, Griffin? It might have been you then. One of you mentioned that. Well, like you're watching this Norwegian black. It was you. Yeah, you're right. You're watching this Norwegian black metal movie, and like everyone in the movie has like a, sounds like they're from California. Like, nah, the top one.
That's the look that he had on his face when they convicted him.
Yeah, dude, I saw the video. I actually bookmarked it. Have y'all seen it?
No, I have not.
Whenever she's reading the sentence of 21 years or whatever, he smiles.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Look at him, dude.
Yeah.
That's a nice headshot.
It is. He might get a movie role with that headshot.
Yeah, really. I mean.
But well, after these church burnings, after the dude fucking stabbed this dude to death, Euronymous was like, I gotta get the fuck away from these motherfuckers. Like,
nah, dude, you've skipped something.
What,
after all of that shit, this motherfucker's like, I'm going to the news.
Oh my god, yeah.
And he's like, why? He's sitting there with those glasses on. I'm like, why does he wear these glasses? He doesn't have a prescription. He looks like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids with those things on. Like,
that's his typing glasses, man.
But then he calls him up and he's like, I'm going to the news, man. I'm taking it to the next level.
Yeah, it's like, whoa.
And he's like, dude, that's a bad
He's like,
idea.
what?
Yeah.
He's over here trying to mac on this chick. You can already tell they're starting to drift apart.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm going to the news, man. Look, this motherfucker dude just wanted to be famous.
Yeah.
Like, he just wanted to be famous.
Wanted to be somebody.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, for sure.
So then we move past he goes to the guy comes up there. He's so stupid. He's like, there's this group of people. What are they called?
The black inner circle.
The black inner circle. And he's like, how many are there? And he's like, well, there's 6 of us. And it's like, oh, the dude just smiles at him like, bitch.
Yeah.
He's like, no pictures. And then he's posing later on. He's like,
yeah. He's like, make sure you can't see my face. And those pictures are online, by the way.
So they put this shit in the paper. When they're getting in the car, they're like, this motherfucker's going to be, he's so fucking stupid. He's going to be on the front page tomorrow. So they bring him in, dude. Cops come pick him up, bring him into jail. They can't do anything.
No. Because
there's no evidence.
Yeah.
Because it burned up in a church fire,
Yeah.
So he walks away scot-free. The fucking metal magazine calls dude up. Then he's like, yeah. And he starts like, well, I told him to do all that. Like,
yeah.
I thought for a minute that was another setup.
The magazine calling him?
Yeah. Because his phone, dude, had that thing on it, and I thought that was a tap so they could listen to the call.
Yeah, I thought it was too.
Yeah, I was like, oh, what's going on here? Because then all of a sudden the dude just hung up. Then they're in the magazine, dude.
Yeah.
And then this is when dude gets pissed because he comes walking up all mad and shit
Yeah.
with his fucking boots on. He's got these Nazi fucking,
Right.
what do they call those boots?
Shit kickers?
No, how do they call them? Something I can't remember, but
Doc Martens?
that's it, dude. He rolls up in them, dude, and they're gonna meet, right, and talk. And he's like, "This fucking magazine, we got to do a tour. What you got? Something else happen?"
Yeah, before that, he puts Varg in the band, the bass player, and they're in the studio. It shows him in the studio recording, trying to get some shit.
And he was
out
happy.
Yeah, he was all right.
Well, this whole time, that's what he wanted, dude.
Yeah,
like that. Everything he's done, he burned down 3 churches.
Yeah.
To be in this band, he just wanted to be, and he fucking, you know. He was rising up high in the scene, like he went up the ranks real quick,
didn't he? Though,
yeah,
real quick on that, especially on that first one. They're like, "You fucking did it!" Like we had all talked about it, but you fucking did it, you know.
And he's just staring at dude like, "I'm gonna kill you."
Yeah, motherfucker. Well, that they put him in the band, that happened, and then it shows him kind of falling out while they're trying to record. He's like, "We got to get back in there. We got to finish recording." He's like, "No, I'm gonna burn this fucking church down, and we're gonna take a picture of it, and it's gonna be the album cover."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Why? Like, why can't we just use the photo of the church as it is?" He's like, "No, it's got to be on fire. We can't use it unless it's on fire."
Yeah.
So, dude, like,
let's draw it.
I mean, that's
like, dude, we just dodged the bullet.
Big bullets.
Like, you're not in jail, I'm not.
Yeah.
But after he went to the cops, record shop's gone.
Yeah, that happens too. Like,
yeah, dad stopped paying the rent.
Yeah. And he's in there cleaning the record store out with that one dude, and he's like, "I'm gonna fucking kill that motherfucker." Like, why the fuck?
With this taser, I'm gonna tase him and drag him into the woods.
Torture him to death.
And make a snuff film out of it.
Yeah. And it gets back to him.
This is where I think the movie like the great guessing game, like what actually happened.
Yeah. Because we don't really know. Nobody really knows except for him, right? I mean, Euronymous doesn't know.
I think this is a good time to interject into the movie now and update you on Varg's mental capacity then now. So there's a moment in the movie when him and Euronymous go to burn down a church together for the first. There's a moment where while they're walking into the church, Varg states, "Do you know what this church was built?"
Yeah.
And of course he answers that it's built on ancient, like, Nordic ground, like pagan, like pretty much pagan burial sites that, like, where pagans would come to worship.
Where they used to do
so the movie makes
sacrifice, like rituals and shit.
So even though they do depict the Nazism that he kind of follows and has his tendencies of not really, he's racist, you know, but he just believes in that whole Nazi type of belief and shit. Well, let's fast forward to now present. Varg has since went on to get out of jail, all this stuff. He's got a wife to what shows on YouTube, and he had a channel. It was called Thulian Perspective, and he would post a lot of content about pagan stuff. A lot.
Dude, put a lot of hours into videos too. Long videos.
He's and none of his stuff's monetized, I don't think. But I'm going to get to his channel here in a minute too, because it's current like now shit has gone
Yeah,
on.
within the last month.
But 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 anyways, he has all those videos about pagan and all those beliefs, Vikings, Norse mythology, homesteading. He's all about prepping stuff and
Using
the
bow
fall
and arrows and shit.
civilization. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kids
with blonde hair, stuff like that.
But amidst all of his content, he actually had some videos where he more or less gave his side of the story, and it builds up to where he pretty much the movie plays out the same. It's just the context they put it, because even before this movie was ever made, he had made those videos explaining his side of the story and everything. And by what I can remember of the videos, he was, he explained that they were just, it's what you see in the movie pretty much, except for he claims that he did catch wind that Euronymous had plotted to kill him. And because of the extremity of if the movie is not exaggerating when it's at its most violent, it creates the scenario where that paranoia of, okay, these people are doing extreme shit, I'm burning churches down, this other guy stabbed someone, when is one of us going to go the extra mile and just murder one of us, So I could understand how that paranoia would slowly bleed into everything.
Yeah.
And if not just because of that, you could put anything at that point. Like, when is someone going to murder someone in broad daylight? When is somebody going to burn a building 2 blocks down from the shop? Or, you could try to put yourself in any of those people's shoes and try to, but it all comes to the same outcome, that they were a bunch of really troubled people doing really out of control things.
Yeah.
But the whole idea about him being obsessed with ancient belief systems and stuff like that, like, it's true, and it's very hard. You could, like, the movie could have done with eliminating the Nazi stuff and really drove into his belief about, like, elaborating on the church thing, because they showed that he came off as versed in old belief systems and what have you. But they also made quick. It's almost like they used the which, I mean, it's not like I sit and covered every stitch of the guy, but
they kind of focused on the Nazi shit, though.
And I think that was to steer the audience into, like, how extreme he was into it.
Well, he's
like,
the bad guy.
I don't know. It's not like I ever talked to the end of it.
Yeah.
But just by his YouTube content because once I saw, because at first I found him through just other survivalist people, philosophy videos, stuff like that. You take that type of dive on YouTube and you end up all over the place. And I came across this dude, saw some of his videos.
You didn't even know it was him?
Not at first. And then, I can't remember when I put 2 and 2 together, but, I remember it's when he put out a video that was talking about Burzum. And I remember Burzum from back in high school when back when you would get online and try to find the most
that hard to get shit.
As far as kids that were into the type of music that we were into, I feel like a lot of circles had that little competition in high school where it's who could come up with the most
can dig the
exotic band, like who was going to bring the next big band everyone was going to get into, you know?
Right.
But amidst all of that and stuff, I want to say I'd heard of Burzum and Mayhem probably. It was around the time that I became a Cradle of Filth fan, I think. This is high school and everything.
Yeah.
And I remember looking up them, and when you find one band that you're like, okay, that's all right. Where's the band that people are? Because you find a band, and then the way it worked for me is I'd find a band, and I'd read where people were praising them. Then I'd find that one asshole that shit on them and was like, these guys suck. Listen to these guys. And then you jump to that band, might do the same fucking process. You know what I mean? And I remember the first time I ever heard Burzum or Mayhem, for that matter. I don't think I made it through an entire fucking song because I didn't understand the artistic approach of it being. I just thought it was just horribly recorded.
Yeah.
I disregarded it as just like early '90s metal crap where it wasn't that big. You know, it was one of those things where it was I feel like when it comes down to it with black metal, early thrash metal, no matter how much some of those bands and those records are so endearing through time, that era of music is, especially for those specifically, you really had to be there to get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I feel like while the internet and things like Wikipedia and shit like that can make more underground style music more palatable and more acceptable, because you kind of get that buffer going in. Like, you pull up an artist on Spotify or Pandora or any other search engine, and they explain what the band was going for shit.
Right.
And so, back then when you're still just band hopping and all that stuff, and I'm sure kids still do it now. I'm sure there's someone online doing that shit as we speak. But when you're just in the dive, you're looking for what sounds good, and I did not hop on that train until way later on when I don't know. It's like with rock music, and this is encompassing anything with a distorted fucking guitar. Everybody has a different launch pad. But I think, regardless of where you're starting, though, you meet at a threshold where it's like, okay, you understand how this type of rock and heavy metal and punk music and stuff like that, and it's like, now let's go to another tier where it's like, all right, now we've got death metal, tech metal, or all the different subs. Like it's just like it's these layers that everyone gets to differently.
Yeah.
And then when you realize, man, that some of these other bands that you listen to and like they grew up on that shit, and they were like, we're gonna fucking start a band. There's I'm sure there's bands out there where they're like a huge influence with like Mayhem
or in the case with Mayhem, they got their idea because they were just sick of, like, they wanted that straight up evil fucking imagery that just, I don't know, it was there, but it wasn't. They wanted more money where your mouth is, and goddamn, they showed up to bat.
Yeah, they showed up, showed out.
Yeah, didn't they though?
Like, and here's the thing: what do you guys think was more extreme? The slowly coast to coast level of hardcore music, or the black metal scene? Because like those two seem like the most violent of where rock has went, like, as far as its span across the globe.
I'm gonna say black metal because I've never heard of any of these hardcore dudes like burning churches down and shit, or killing motherfuckers.
But I mean, but at the same time, a lot of hardcore and punk also, whether you want to admit it or not, there are gang level tendencies there.
Yeah. Well, and it's got that Nazi influence and that stuff as well. I mean it.
Yes, there's skinhead, punk and hardcore bands and stuff like that.
So.
I mean,
it's kind of intertwined, hand in hand, really. I mean, just I know that, like, hardcore and the people around that genre, especially back in the day, they did some crazy shit, but I don't think it was as televised.
Nah, it was more underground.
Yeah.
And that's the way they wanted it. Like, they wasn't trying to push it to the...
No. But that's
well, if you remember too, they also, the thing about America's music scene, I guess you want to call it that, is we had scapegoats in our eras of music, because where we had an underground, there was a mainstream that took the flack for it.
Yeah.
I remember I was on YouTube the other day, and just through all the different, in your recommendations and shit, came across that old ass fucking Donahue footage where Marilyn Manson was on there.
Yeah, I've seen this.
They were debating moshing.
Yeah.
Now, I'm sure, like, you can mosh in any rock show. I get that.
Nickelback's got mosh pits.
I think for a lot of people out there, when you think of moshing, you don't think of Marilyn Manson. You don't think of the tidal wave of mainstream artists that exist now to a degree. Like, when I think moshing, I think of like just old school hardcore, hardcore punk shows, things where it was just, I mean, it's all the same, but I always attributed it to, you know, what little hardcore I was exposed to growing up.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's all a matter of perspective, though. Whenever if you want to look at it that way, because think about it, if you get somebody on here right now that just listens to, like that mainstream rock level, and that's it, their version of like being in a quote unquote mosh pit
is pushing people,
and my version of being in a
is getting kicked in the fucking head.
Yeah, I mean,
No, dude, I witnessed this firsthand. My whole life, dude, going to a lot of metal shows. I've seen pits. I've seen Birmingham hardcore pits, and those are rough. They got gym shorts on. They're wearing army hats. Somebody's getting punched in the face. Dude, they'll hit a girl. They don't care. They just start swinging their fist, man, like everywhere.
Yeah.
All right? And then, all these metal shows, when the breakdown hits, the circle pits, people go crazy. It's like, I actually prefer that style of mosh pit.
Yeah.
That's the pit I like to watch. I like to see that pit. Now, go to a Korn concert. It's pushing.
Yeah.
That's it. You ain't gonna see some dude out there fucking eating doing gorilla biscuits or fucking eating soup and skanking, You ain't gonna see no two steps.
Right.
You're just, it's pushing. So it like, that's like, it's just different.
Yeah.
Different styles of pits. Like,
yeah. It's all a matter of perspective.
Yeah, and it depends on the people and the band.
And I think for the sake of having a control in place with our opinion here, there is the opinion that it's all nonsense and it's all just, you know what I mean?
Well,
as far as the outside looking in, for people who aren't into this style of music, who don't understand that there is a level of passive aggressive tendencies with all of it, but there's like a mutual understanding when people go to these shows and do moshing.
Yeah.
I'm not saying people aren't going to get hit in the face, abso-fucking-lutely.
Yeah.
But there's almost a social contract that people agree that this is where a contained area of physical violence is going to happen. It's not with the intent of hurting people, but it's an area where you're going to swing your fists and so are other people.
We all have an understanding.
You get hit, you've got to have thick skin to deal with it. Like, they're not hitting you because they don't like you. You're in an area where this is the style. This is how people react to this music, and it's how it's just formed into where this is the accepted means of it.
It's part of it, dude. Can you imagine, dude, you go to some badass metal show and there's no fucking pit?
I mean, a mosh pit at a metal show is the same fucking thing as the old school lighter tribute to fucking like a ballad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So many times, dude, I was at shows and I'm sitting there watching a band. I've heard them before, listen to the records. I know what's coming. I know the breakdown's coming. And as soon as the breakdown happens, I turn and look at the pit because I know it's going to be crazy. Like, you turn and look at it like, what are they going to do? This going to be wild. Like,
who's going to die?
How many times have you done that?
At
a metal show, you're like, you see that breakdown coming?
Yeah.
And you're sitting there, you might be watching a band that you've always wanted to see, like for us, like a big name.
Yeah.
Somebody we followed for years, and this is our first time seeing them. But when that breakdown hits, you just turn and look at the pit and watch it and just be like, they're fucking each other up, dude. And then everybody's got to understand, dude, it's cool. That's what happens. There's a circle about, all right, you say you got that guardrail about 3 people back. Yeah, 3 to 4 people back. That's the danger zone, and there's a circle.
Yeah.
You'll know because they'll let you know.
Yeah.
They'll widen it out.
And, you know, and I think it's awesome because, like, I've always thought moshing was awesome, and I haven't really had the ability to put to words what I think is a correlation between a crowd and the band. And I feel like people who are at the point where they're so pumped that they go for the thrill of moshing and getting in pits and all that cool stuff. I think that area is like a concentrated area of where they're almost on the same level as the artist when they wrote the music.
Yeah.
When the band finally had that practice, that rehearsal of the song, where you're at if it's an aggressive track, it's at its peak. Like where you reach the zenith of your practicing with it, where you're like, okay, this song is ready to be performed in front of people.
Right.
And I think every band has that moment when they're getting a song together. They have that one rehearsal where it'll be like, all right, we're good with this one.
How many times have you guys stood on the edge of a mosh pit and protected the people on the other side of you?
I mean,
you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Where you protect, you like, there might be some girls standing there.
Yeah.
Something, usually, usually that's what it is. There'll be some girls, they want to get close to the front. And you're standing there like, bitch, do you know where you're standing right now? And you try to stand there and hold them back.
Something to point out for people who don't frequent these types of events. It's been said from countless other people, more credible people than I think than any of us as well. And it's that, there's the fact that there's no intent for harming other people, but that doesn't mean that the capacity for it to happen isn't gone,
Yeah.
Because there's assholes that try to.
But I think there's also
collateral damage.
Like Adam brought up, there will be those people that don't mind to take the hit. They understand what the pit's
I've stood on the edge, man.
But they're there to be like, all right, we're gonna make sure, we're gonna make sure Joe Blow next to me, who's here to watch the band, and there's nothing wrong with that. It don't.
Well,
it's almost like there's people who step up and go, all right, I'm gonna make sure that this, they want to help keep it contained.
That's what I was about to say.
And literal violence ensues. That's when it usually gets stopped, and it just becomes a shit show for everyone.
In a mosh pit, the kind of shows that we like to go to, there's 2 fucking jobs in this pit. There's the motherfuckers in the pit and the circle around the pit. And when they run into you and try to, you push them back. That's your job. You push them back in there and push them hard as fuck, dude, because that's what they want you to do.
You can't take that shit personal.
Can't get mad because, dude, they'll come over there and shake your hand and fucking hug you. There's no,
If somebody hits the ground, you pick them the fuck up.
I've picked people up. I've picked up glasses and phones, man. Say we're all in this together.
And you slip and bust your ass. You'd want somebody to have a hand to fucking be like, hey man, get up, dude, you're good.
So I'm an outer pit. That's what I do. I'm a tank. All right, I stand on the outer edge of the pit, and I try to get as close to the front as I can get. But I'm getting pushed. I'm getting shoved. I'm pushing them back. I'm picking people up so they can crowd. So, dude,
from 16 to 18, easily when I was 16, 17, man, I used to love moshing. I'd have fun with it. My friends would do it. We'd all get in on it and stuff. Then as I got older, I kind of got like with Adam. I just started kind of being like, all right, well, I'm gonna hang on.
That tank,
I don't know.
There's
something
man.
About me. It's like you can, even if you're not moshing, you can feed off that intensity the same way you are with the band. It's still a fun experience.
That's what I'm trying to say here. Like,
but I know that's entirely objective.
Dude, I have told people before, I've been like, you should not be standing here, okay? Like, you and your mom need to move over that way a little bit because it's about to get ugly. This is the acacia strain,
Right.
But I've had people come up to me and tap me on my shoulder and say, launch me on top of these fucking people.
It absolutely.
And you put your hand down there, dude, and let them
mind.
step in it, just launch them up. I've had people run up my back.
Yeah.
Love it,
dude. It blows my mind that some of the shows I've been to. I don't know if you want to call it courage or stupidity. I guess it depends on how you look at it. But those type of aggressive events like that, those types of shows where, you know, the band's going ham, the crowd's going ham. I don't understand why pregnant women think it's a good idea to be at the front row.
Yeah, no. You don't. You need to be in the back, the very back.
You know, I get it. It's a good story to tell one day. It's fucking, you know, it's, you know, there's no reason why you
had a miscarriage at a fucking hardcore show.
I get all of it. But that is a seriously dangerous area for like a late term pregnant person. And it blows my mind that they take the risk to do that.
Because they will push you into the guardrail.
It is absolutely their choice. I'm not suggesting that they don't, but I'm saying that like, I'm just highlighting that, like, that it's always blown my mind when I've either played a show or been at one, and you see them and I'm just like, man, you know, when you see something you know you're gonna have to deal with later, and you're like, God damn it, why now?
Hey man, I feel like
because it almost never fails. Every show I've been to, usually when someone moshes and somebody who's carrying a baby is somehow at the show, almost always they're gonna have a conflict later on in the night.
I'm holding a baby, you motherfucker. You know, it's like, yeah, you should not be standing here.
Because that's as polite as I would be and steer clear of the pregnant woman. A lot of people don't share that same opinion, and they think, you know, we're here to have fun. Like, you know, why should they curb to the air of caution for you when you're the one that's in a danger? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
go to the back of the bus.
Your safety is, you know, and it's hard to explain it negatively without sounding like a dick, but you know what I mean.
But you guys know how it is.
I'm not saying mothers, but, like, you know, stay far the fuck away from the mosh
Stand at the back.
You know?
The music sounds the best back there anyway. Look, man.
I mean, there's plenty of there's plenty of places that you can still have a good time and a safe time. Well, I mean, and even up front, it's just the place where
on the side,
that where you know a singer is going to more than likely interact with the crowd. That's a dangerous area.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't mean to go off on a tangent with this. It was just it's just another thing that I've always noticed, you know.
Well, you know, that's like part of our life, going to shows and doing this shit. Like, you know, when you roll into that show, you're watching that pit, it doesn't take you long to find the asshole. There's always one asshole. But rest assured, before the end of the night, somebody's going to fuck him up, dude. Somebody's going to fuck him. More than one, you know what I'm saying? They'll gang up. They'll fuck him up. He'll get what's coming to him. You ain't got to get mad. It's like, no, everybody's already marked him. He's a marked man. He'll get fucked up for the end of the night. But here's something I've always felt, guys. Like, I've stood at the back, at the very back, and watched bands play. I've enjoyed it. I like it. But that you were talking about, Travis, that energy around that pit, or just right there in it, like that. There's a certain energy. Y'all remember? Oh, dude, it's the best feeling. It's like a drug you can't buy.
No.
You got to buy a ticket, drive 2 hours, stand in line. Like, you got to work for this. Do y'all remember when we were at that Every Time I Die show at the Masquerade? Yeah. That feeling.
I remember.
That feeling. I know you felt it times 10, but that feeling that you get when you're there, that's why I like that. I like being close to it, because there's a certain kind of energy that comes off of it, and it's just like, I don't know, I like it. I like a pit. I like a show like that where it's like, oh man, this shit's fucking, this is great. Love it.
I mean, and that's the thing, like, people go to these shows. Everybody has a different agenda, but a lot of people go to these shows as a stress reliever. You know, like,
oh yeah,
when I go to shows like that, it's like Adam said, it's almost like a drug. You show
It's
up
so good,
there.
dude.
There's nothing that you're worrying about while
No.
you're there, except for having a good time.
And we're all on the same page.
We're all there together.
If somebody bumps into you, knocks you down, they'll pick you up. They'll fucking shake your hand and say, "Right, brother." You know, like,
Yeah.
how many times have you know, the guy that, like, you bump into, or the sweaty motherfucker that's like, you making friends in the pit. You'll never see them again.
No.
But for a split fucking second, you're
best
on the
friend.
same fucking page,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
So many times.
Yeah.
It's great.
And that's kind of going back to the movie here. It's like the idea of like camaraderie and like hanging out with people with like-minded, you know, ideas and beliefs and things like that is something that's very special whenever it's fed the right way.
Yeah.
You know, this wasn't fed the right way, like at all.
But this was early days. It got better over time.
Yeah, but I think that goes with everything though, because like I was saying earlier, even the scenes around here, you still have it. It breeds this shit.
Yeah.
It just breeds shit. You know.
It's a dead bird in a bag.
Yeah. Oh my God. But yeah, it does. It just breeds shit. Like you're gonna have shit show up at these shows. You're gonna be interacting with shit. It's just gonna happen. You have to be cognizant enough to not associate with that. You know what I'm saying? It's
because I mean, even in mine and Adam's show going days, we encountered people who were definitely in their own twisted Southern way, very much the type of people that were that were trying to get into black metal and stuff.
Yeah.
I
know
can't remember their names
exactly who you're talking about, dude. Dude, these are the same two guys that were there when Derek Love committed suicide. These are the same. There was something. That's another podcast for another time there, you know.
right.
But these motherfuckers, do you remember, Travis, when they dumped a dead animal at the show?
Yeah.
Now these guys, man, were all black, trench coats, black fingernails, long fingernails. One time I said, "Hey man, what's up?" And he growled at me.
Oh.
Growled at me, dude. They put contacts in. Those two guys, that's the only time I've ever run into that though. I was just like, these dudes are on a whole nother level. Ain't fucking with them. You know, nobody touched them.
Right.
They didn't have a problem.
Yeah.
We're talking about the same people, right? Those two dudes, they were weird, man. Real weird. Like, I heard stories of them doing shit to cats and, you know, like, I'm not even going to get into details, but
yeah,
they were, you know, that was their shit, dude. I guarantee you they loved Mayhem.
Lords of Chaos.
Oh, yeah, dude. They would have been right there at the party, like. And then they wore those rings. You know, the ring that covers the whole finger?
Yeah.
You know, the damn...
The finger sleeve?
Yeah. They'd have shit like that on, dude, and they'd be wearing all black trench coats. And when you do, there was no being friendly with them. You try, because hell, I make friends with anybody.
Yeah, right.
And you know, every now and then you bump into them, you try, dude, but you couldn't friend these motherfuckers, dude. If you tried to friend them, you were in Facebook purgatory for life, like friends,
wow.
You know, just.
Yeah.
That's the first time we ever come across people, and the last time. Since then I've never.
Yeah.
Cause you know, man, it's like, why were they even there? Why were they, like, when you go to a show, man? You're reaching out, you're hanging out with people, like.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck were they even doing there? You could just tell, man, when you looked at them, they wanted to kill everybody there.
They just wanted to be seen.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's all a statement
mm-hmm.
against the norm. I mean, when I got into heavier music, it was something that just kind of went down the road of like, okay, I like this, and then you read what their influences are, and it's a jumping off point for like, oh, well, they were influenced by this, and then that turned into this, and it's it's one of those things where, like, especially where we grew up.
I was about to say this. We riffing.
Well, and where they grew up in the movie.
Yeah.
You're surrounded by religion. You're
like
surrounded
normal
by,
people. And I'm not saying we're not normal, but
yeah,
the stuff, the way we dressed, the stuff we did, like
yeah,
I stood out like a sore thumb
yeah, me
in
too.
high school because wasn't nobody dressing the way I was, for damn sure.
Yeah,
Even when I went to like a city school,
yeah,
very few. It was like, oh, whoa, what you don't hunt and fucking mud ride? I'm like, nah, dude, I fucking decapitate fucking pigs. I never
yeah,
said that to somebody, but I will say this: didn't get fucked with.
yeah. I know.
Didn't
Me
get fucked
neither.
with because they looked at me like, damn, he might roll up in here one day and go fucking Columbine on us. So we ain't
Right.
fucking with him,
Yeah. Well, I mean the way that I was raised, it's like every Sunday go to church,
Yeah,
and you're like almost force fed this life.
yeah. Whether you
And
want to do it or not,
yeah,
it's not your
and I'm not
choice.
yeah, and I'm not like trying to diss any of that
No,
stuff, but like
but you
one
shouldn't make somebody do it.
one extreme always promotes another extreme. It's like those kids that have been sheltered their whole life, and then once they get out into the real world, 9 times out of 10, what do? They
End up
go
with like
fucking
a
crazy.
fucking needle in their arm.
Yeah, or with a disease that they
Yeah,
can't
it's just
get rid of.
they can't handle it. Like,
No. So it's one extreme promotes another extreme. And it's like it's the individuals, I guess, the individuals way, like the way that they handle things and the way that they go through their life. It's like they can choose. Either I stick with what I'm doing and be okay with it, or I like dabble in this stuff that I'm not supposed to be dabbling in because they say it's wrong, and everybody has that thrill of like, oh, you're not supposed to do this, so it's something that I want to do because I'm not
yeah,
supposed to do.
it's taboo.
Yeah, that coupled with the idea, like the thing that
Especially
I
where
had,
we are from. Like,
yeah.
it's
Well,
taboo.
and what goes hand in hand with that is like you have these people in your life that are telling you you can't do this, you're not supposed to do this, this
Why?
is wrong. Not only that, but then you find out that what they're telling you not to do, they were doing the whole time.
Yeah,
Like they're so hypocritical.
yeah,
And especially at a young age when you find this out and you're like, well, why should I listen to any of it? You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
If this person is coming in on Sunday talking about how people that are out in the world sleeping with everybody, doing
And
drugs
they're
and all this
doing the
stuff are
same.
going to
They're
hell.
getting drunk and fucking everybody.
Yeah. Then
Like,
then
well,
a week later
why
after
can't
he
I have
said,
fun?
yeah, a week later after he says that they're in jail for meth possession. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck? Um, you know what I'm
Well, I
saying?
mean, you can't really be a role model for somebody like that.
Yeah. And
Because
these
when
role
you're a kid,
models,
man, you look up to these people in your life.
yeah. Well, and they're almost forced on you to a certain extent. He's a preacher. You
Forced
need to
role
listen to
models.
what he says. Yeah. And then you realize, like, oh, well,
He's a piece of shit.
yeah. I mean, really. And the older you get, the more you find out about. And then whenever I look at my life compared to some of these people that I was supposed to model my life around, I haven't done near the
Nah,
amount of
dude.
shit that they have done. You know what I'm saying?
Nah.
I listen to fucking satanic quote unquote music.
It's
You
just
know?
music, man.
Yeah.
Just because I like this music, it doesn't even mean it doesn't even mean that I believe in the devil. Like it ain't got nothing to do with the devil.
No.
And it ain't got I'm not trying to scare somebody with it, or I just like it.
No.
It's
It's an
good.
energy. Yeah.
I
Either
mean,
you
It's a
get it or you don't.
catharsis.
Yeah.
good music's good music. Period.
So do y'all want to finish the movie out? What happens next?
Oh my God.
So dude tells Varg that he's gonna that Euronymous was like, I'm gonna fucking stun him with the fucking taser, paralyze him with it, take him to the woods, and torture him to death.
Make a
And
smut
Varg's
film.
like, make us yeah. Varg's
Snuff
like,
film,
not
sorry.
on my watch,
Yeah.
motherfucker.
Not if I
And
kill you first.
he rolls out to Oslo, which
And
is
like,
a fucking
dude, he's
minute
thinking
away.
about it too. He's like, he's laying down in the back seat with a blanket pulled over his head. They
He's
stop
not-
and buy a movie. He's like, we watched this movie tonight. Because, see, his thinking was he bought it on a credit card. There's a
Yeah.
paper trail, the same credit card they use at the goddamn gas station. Hello.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
so they roll
So-
up, dude.
Well, before that, we got to
The
preface
contract.
Before that, Euronymous sends him a contract and says, if you sign this, I will release all of Burzum's music to you.
You can have
you'll have-
everything back.
He gives him his
Everything.
chip back.
Yeah.
He's trying to make it right.
Yeah.
Now, hey, I don't know if that really happened. I don't know. Maybe it did. Maybe it didn't.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. It was in the movie.
We'll have to dive deeper into that.
You know how movies go, though.
Yeah.
Had to have a reason for them to meet up.
Yeah. But
Well,
he
this
sends
last
him the-
boss was hard.
Yeah. He sends him the contract and was like, sign this. And at this point, Euronymous is like, Mayhem is actually going to be a band. I want to be in the band. I want to tour. I want to be a musician. Fuck all these crazy people that
Yeah.
I'm around. Fuck Varg for being
I'm
a
going to hire
fucking
some
crazy
real
person.
musicians
And
that
yeah,
get it,
we're-
that it's just a job and not a way of life.
Yeah. And just do it right.
Like, we made it. We made our stamp. Like, we're golden. All we
Yeah.
got to do is tour.
Yeah. And Varg's not having any of it. He shows up and fucking
Oh, man.
signs the contract. And then he's like, dude's walking off. He's like, where the fuck are you going? He's like, I'm going to get a pen to sign the contract, you know?
Yeah.
He comes in there with the pen and he fucking pulls his big ass knife out and gets
Well, he
him in the
ran up
fucking
on him, dude. He was like, no, you're going to get your taser.
Yeah.
Because you want to kill me and make a fucking snuff film.
He's like,
And he's
what
like,
the fuck?
what? And he stabs the shit out of him, dude.
Yeah.
Hard in the gut. Just, And dude
Yeah.
is like, what the fuck are you doing? And then he tries to stab him again and he grabs it.
Yeah.
He stops it from going in, but then he pulls it back and it cuts his hand. He's like, look, dude, you can leave right now.
Yeah.
And everything's going to be okay. We're
Yeah.
even. But nah, dude. He wasn't having
Not
that.
having-
This motherfucker, now I don't know what happened in real life, but in the movie, this motherfucker died a brutal death.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Well, they said online it says that he was stabbed 23 times.
Uh-huh.
So
Did
he,
Varg suffer any, damage to his body at all?
I don't think so.
Well, it seems to me like if the other dude was plotting and he was that kind of, he would have done something,
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that the whole time this was going on, he was begging and pleading, please, man, just leave. Why are you
Yeah.
doing this to me? But there's this one scene, man, when he goes out the hallway and he falls down the steps. This motherfucker's acting.
Yeah.
This was his time to shine right here. Like, he's not going to get an award for this, but kind of deserved one,
Yeah.
When he falls down those steps and just splat right there, ham splats.
Yeah. Yeah. Right there.
And this
on the
motherfucker
floor.
comes up and he's like, I'm your fucking friend, man.
Yeah.
Bar gets some tears in his eyes, which we don't know if that really happened, but. And he was just like, and then he just like wiped it away and was like, no, fuck you. And just stabbed the shit out of him, man.
Yeah.
That was
Just-
brutal.
It was.
A stabbing, dude, I'd rather be shot in the face.
Yeah.
Because just shoot me. Don't stab
Yeah.
me to death. Because can you imagine?
No. Well, he stabs the shit out of, then stabs him in the head. And
Brutal.
then fucking puts his boot on his head to pull the knife
Because he can't
out.
get it out.
Yeah.
But when he stabbed him in the head, you could see the release.
Yeah.
Because this
It was
motherfucker
it.
was in pain, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I wished he would have went straight for the head the first time. But no, dude. See, it was personal.
It was.
Anytime somebody gets stabbed that many times,
Yeah.
I've watched enough First 48 to know this. It's personal, man. If you stab him more than 3 times,
Yeah.
you got a bone to pick.
Yeah.
I mean, it was terrible. I don't know this guy's full story, but I do know this. Let me throw this at you. I'm gonna make it real quick. About a month ago, YouTube. He's been doing it for a minute. He's been doing YouTube for a while. Me and Travis, a few months ago, we were watching his videos on his channel.
Right.
I may or may not have subscribed to him. I can't remember. You know, I didn't write the recipe. I was there. But his channel was canceled by YouTube for making racist and, you know, he said some things. And then a week or so after that, he created another channel.
I think we should point out that it was more of a fascination. I don't.
Oh yeah, dude.
I'm not. I don't pick up with this guy.
No, dude. I'm not. He's crazy. He's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Like I don't believe in all this Norwegian fucking god shit, but it was just, you know, this is the guy from Mayhem, and I want to see I just wanted to see what he's got to say. Like a train wreck, dude. Like I just want to see what is he saying. You know, there was this one video. The video where he talks about this whole thing where he stabs him and kills him, he's just sitting in a car, man. And he's got a camera on the dash. And he's just sitting in the car talking about this shit. And he's like calm as fuck and just explaining his piece. And it was weird, you know, like, you killed a fucking dude, man. Like, and you know, but he served his time. Out of the 21 years ago, he did 15. He did his time. Like, but YouTube cancels his channel. This is getting around the time this movie comes out. Everything was fine until this fucking movie came out, dude, because he had over 200,000 subscribers, and that's what they didn't like. He was getting, he was picking up people, and they're like, oh, we can't have you converting fucking kids, dude. Like, you can't.
Right.
All right, a week after that, he makes another channel, puts a video up. YouTube deletes that shit, too. All right? Damn. His wife has a YouTube channel. Now, Travis, I'm doing a little research over his wife. He's married to some lady. She's a little off. She's weird, but a lot of her videos are like, they got these kids, man, blue eyes, blonde hair. Like, there's a lot of videos of them out in the woods using bow and arrows, teaching their kids to like live off the land. Like, it's weird. And then they'll have these videos where they start talking about these gods and shit. And we're talking 3-hour videos that they put a lot of work into. Like, dude's read some books, you know?
Right, yeah.
A lot of these videos, when you see him talking, he's got this big bookshelf behind him, and I'm like, okay, he's balls deep in this shit. Like,
yeah,
it's religion. Like, right now he's got a Twitter. Found his Twitter. Through her channel, she uploaded a video after all his channels were deleted that he's got a Twitter. Went to his Twitter. Strange ass post, dude. I'll send it to you guys. You can check it out. They're strange. Like, each post is like a fucking, you know, cryptic message or something. Like, it's just, and he's like, I'm working on a video. You know, it takes me a long time to put shit together. Like, he's got some weird music. So that's what's going on with him. He's been fucking deplatformed.
Yeah.
And it's around the time that this movie came out. Because,
right.
you know, people started looking into the movie and they're like, oh, this guy. And then, oh, he's got a YouTube. And then, you know, YouTube's like, we don't want to get behind that.
Yeah.
Well, but you let him do it for years until the movie came out. I mean,
yeah. Like, what the fuck, man?
But I never saw an ad pop up on his videos.
Right.
Just doing it. But yeah, that's what he's up to these days. He's on the internet. He's living a strange life. He's a strange person.
Yeah, he's
very strange.
Yeah.
Now, he served his time. Been there for 15 years. That's a long time.
Yeah.
But I wanted to mention that because I did a little research after I watched it. I watched this movie earlier today. And it just sucked my ass right in, dude. I was there. I was there for the ride. Like,
it did the same for me, man. I mean, it's not all. it's not often that we get.
It's
movies
never.
like this. Yeah, I
This
mean,
doesn't
it's like
happen.
once a fucking decade,
Like,
maybe.
how did this even happen? Like, who said, you
It's
know what we should do a movie about? Mayhem.
Yeah.
And
Well, it's
everybody
based
said,
off of a book.
who? Oh, okay, there's a book. Oh, like a little true story.
Well, also, I think it's worth to point out that the director is the drummer for a seminal black metal band called Bathory. Or he used to be the drummer for that band.
Okay,
Right.
that makes sense.
So
This
I
was
mean, to a degree, so I feel like to a degree, the movie wasn't made from an outsider looking in. It was made by somebody who kind of,
you know, they get
while
it.
not the focal point, he was absolutely part of that
He
region
gets
of
it.
music.
Yeah.
It had that feel, man. The whole time I was watching, I was like, they did a good job.
They did.
The actors were really good. I've never seen any of these people. I can't remember his name. Macaulay Culkin's brother did a great job. The dude played Varg. I think his name's like Roy Cohen or something. How funny is that?
Right.
Nah, just kidding. But it was really good. I'm gonna go ahead and say this, guys. I'm gonna give it a full star. I'm giving this a full star. This belongs up there. Now I know they're different, but this belongs up there with the Johnny Cash movie, the fucking, you know, the band biopic.
Yeah.
It's going up there, man. It's right up there. Like, they did a great job. Now, you know, at the end of the movie, we don't know what happened, but you know, from first to third act,
Yeah.
we know that happened. Like, so we don't know what was said when those two were alone. We don't know what happened, but you know, either way, you know.
Yeah.
I give it a full star. Enjoyed the hell out of it.
Excuse me, God.
You want to go next, Trevor? You want me to go?
I can go. I mean, it's a lot of the same opinion that Adam had. Definitely think it belongs. It's definitely on. If you're an eclectic person, clearly, if you don't give a shit about this type of music, then I guess this obviously isn't the movie for you. Though I do urge you to give it a shot. My wife, you know, we have similar tastes in music, but she doesn't really.
She ain't that dark.
No, but I mean, even she came away from it being like it was a good movie. She understood it and everything. But it belongs on that shelf with, you know, other great biopics that, you know, kind of do a good job of setting the scene of that era and everything. But I give it a full star as well, man. Because at the end of the day, it's still a really good movie and a really depressing movie.
Yeah.
Despite the violence and the can't believe they did this, you know, at the end of the day, it's almost a pitiful picture of a guy who had an idea for what he wanted to do with music, and he just kept getting really shitty.
He got
people.
too deep, man. But here's the thing, though.
He crossed the line between being anti something and letting that that rebellious feeling get really like too far gone.
But you got to ask yourself this: would Mayhem have been what it was without that? No. No, dude.
Well, I mean, and if you're,
it would have been nothing.
And what was strange was the way they chose to end it with him being like, you know, don't feel sorry for me. I created a genre.
And what the fuck did you do today? You know, what the fuck have you done? I like that. That was.
But I mean, I don't know. It was just something particularly sad about that ending moment when, you know, he kind of sort of is getting his life together. The girl finally takes his band photos for him.
Well, you know,
all those little things that all the things he was wanting, he got. Even, you know, she even
we don't even know if that was real though.
But, you know, well, I mean, going from that to, you know, stabbed to death.
Oh,
and even
man,
the moment
him at the bottom of those steps.
when he looks at him and he's just like, I thought, he's like, you're my friend,
Yeah, dude, that was sad as fuck, dude.
Like the whole, like the veil of the whole, I'm in the dark shit, that whole, like all that was stripped the fuck away every time Varg planted the knife in him in the movie. Like, it really broke, it shattered all of it to where it's like, this is some fucked up shit that happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was, man.
But yeah, dude, solid movie. You'll come away from it with definitely a very different perspective of that part of the world, particularly that music and the, I don't know, it really,
it wasn't even really about the music though, man. It was a story. I think somebody could watch. There's music in this movie. There's a little bit of music. There's just really though. I mean, how much? I mean, if you take how much music they were playing, and like all the scenes with just dialogue, there was like what, 20 minutes of music. Yeah. It's a good story. This shit happened. This is real. This was. I think somebody could watch this that doesn't give a fuck about any of that and be like, yeah, man, that was, yeah. And it's like, well, this shit happened. It's like, what? Like,
yeah.
They burned churches down? It's like, yeah, this shit's like, I mean, I had no idea.
Yeah.
I had no idea. And I went and listened to him. Griffin did the same. You were talking the other day. Went and listened to Mayhem. Like, I pulled some clips up and listened to it. And I was like, yep, sounds like Mayhem. Like, it's cool that the story, gets to be told. Like,
yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah.
Didn't ever think, never. You ever think you'd see a Mayhem movie?
No.
Fuck no, dude.
But the thing about it is, now it makes me want more.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think that there is a lot of interesting stories out there that come from this type of music that would be just
dude,
killing.
The goddamn Lamb of God movie?
I'm not even saying that. I'm just saying,
we've gone down our list of band, dude. A Rush movie?
Well, but could you imagine something like a Black Flag movie? You know what I'm saying?
Hey, dude, it'll happen.
Or like a Guar movie.
Oh, man.
Yeah, like stuff like that. I mean, just it's
we
that
need
type
more.
Of, yeah, I mean, it's that type of music.
I love movies like this.
Yeah, and it makes it to me that much better whenever it's something that you are invested in. Queen, love the movie.
Give me more though.
Yeah, this.
Give me another band. All right, we got Rocket Man coming out. That's cool. But give me something like, that's top shelf. Give me something on like bottom shelf.
Yeah.
Like left field. Can you believe they made a fucking Mayhem movie, dude?
No.
Like, oh, man.
Fucking weird. It's great though. I fucking loved it, and I'm thinking about getting the book and just reading the book.
I bet the book is real. I bet there's shit in the book that wasn't in the movie.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping that the book will have like interviews with people, photos. You know what I'm saying? Like it's an actual like biography of what happened in that scene. Because I'll say this real quick before we have do what we got to do. But my first encounter with Varg, like finding out about him and everything, was when they interviewed him for that Metal: A Headbanger's Journey.
This is after he killed the dude, and
this was
this is after he got out of jail.
Yeah, I think it was after he got out of jail. Well, you should check it out. It's like an hour and a half long, but it's this filmmaker that's making this documentary about metal and stuff, and he's exploring different subgenres, and he goes and interviews Varg. And he was like, that's where the first time that I'd heard about the church burnings. And I heard about the stuff with Mayhem and what happened, with the vocalist killing himself.
That was your introduction?
Well, but that was my introduction to Varg, because they interview him on there, and it's like, why
An
did
hour
you
and a
burn
half of him talking.
No. It's just a small part of the movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He interviews people from different genres of music, different subgenres of metal music through the whole thing. But the Varg interview, because it was like nighttime, there was a bunch of candles lit. Like he
Oh
really
yeah,
set the
dude.
mood.
He set the mood, spin the yarn.
Yeah, and he was like, "Why did you, why did you burn those churches down?" And Varg's like, "For Satan," like
Did he
stuff
say
like
that?
Yeah, yeah, it's in the documentary, man.
I remember when he was interviewed behind bars. Whenever there was a documentary about black metal called "Until the Light Takes Us."
I've heard of this documentary. Never seen it, but I've heard of it.
It more or less follows dude from Dark Throne. Like he's in it a lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but there are moments where they're explaining the black metal history and shit like that, and they obviously have to bring up Mayhem and Burzum and all that, and there's just a moment where they're interviewing him, where he was at the time.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
It's one of those things
Really?
where it's
I
it,
believe
it,
it was when he was still incarcerated, but I could be wrong.
it drives me crazy that people are like
How do
things
you
like
how
this
do you
happen.
spell his name? Varg. How's it spelled?
VARG VIKERNS, I believe.
But it drives me crazy whenever
Okay.
things like this happen, and people are like, "Well, it's that type of music is the reason that people are like that," and it's like, okay, well, what about all these other different genres of music where people are killing other people? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just
Well,
extreme music that gets the
rap
publicity.
music. I
Exactly.
mean, rap music has got dude, if you want to get down to it,
They got
a
more
higher
fucking
body count than
yeah,
anything.
yeah.
Anything.
Or I
So,
don't know, the blues.
oh yeah, right.
He was
What's more?
released from jail in 2009. He's been out for 10 years. So I'm guessing that documentary was after he was released.
Yeah, you can. I'm pretty sure that they have those.
Because
That interview
that
on
documentary
YouTube.
you're talking about was released in the last 10 years. I remember that.
Yeah,
I remember
because
you talking about it. Like,
yeah. Little headbang journey. Bar.
it's a fascinating story of a group of friends, a movement. They just got too deep.
It totally
They got
caved
too
in on
deep, man.
itself.
They took it too far. I get what they were doing. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it, man. Goat heads on the stage, pig blood. I get it, man. But there's a difference between the stage and the house, and it just got out of hand. Like these, you run into people like that in life, and it's like, whoa, man, wait, this shit's not real, right? Okay.
Well, I mean, and there were subtle hints to show you how they or at least in the movie's depiction, Euronymous was very much like he understood that it was a show.
Yeah.
He's,
From little
yeah.
sequences where after they would play a show or some shit like that and do something off the wall crazy, it'd cut to him sitting on the couch with his head in his father's lap or something.
Yeah. Oh, dude, his feet. He was sitting there. See, he came from a good home. He was John Gray.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
all of these kids were the typical, they get to the door, mom, I'm going out, and
Well,
they just go in and
dude's
do whatever the
mom
fuck
paid
they
for his
want.
damn recordings. Like, they had good parents.
Yeah.
They just took it too far. But because of what they did, dude, there's so. I bet if we could find a list, I'm sure there's no list online, but there's no telling how many bands out there. Like Mayhem would be one of their You know, one of their like things where they're like Mayhem. It's like, oh shit, dude, Mayhem, goddamn, like yeah, it's crazy. Like,
well, I mean,
hey, in the movie, dude, he said, you remember when he sat down? There was this scene where he was talking about doing something. They sat down at the restaurant. Varg came in and sat down, and he was like, "Fuck those guys that want to do this, sit around and do nothing."
Yeah.
Y'all remember this scene?
Beer.
Oh, where he was talking. Everyone at the table, he was talking to them.
Yeah.
Sit around in your Morbid Angel shirt.
Yeah.
And do nothing. I was like, Morbid Angel, you know. and he called him out right there. That was the point in the movie when I knew like he was past what was going on there. Like he was when he said that shit and they all laughed. And he was just staring at dude like, in an hour and a half, I'm gonna stab the shit out of you. Movie time.
Movie time.
The way he would look at him, man.
Yeah.
He hated but at the same time he liked him, but he hated him.
Yeah. It was a dick measuring contest.
It was, dude, the whole movie.
Yeah.
It was a black metal dick measuring contest.
And everybody lost.
Except for Varg,
winners.
right? I mean,
he did jail time.
He went to jail, but
he didn't die.
I mean, dick swinging, like.
Yeah, right. So, before we have to go, do you want to watch this trailer?
What trailer?
I just dropped it. It's called Knives Out.
I might even have a trailer.
All right.
Now, I don't know if you guys want to watch this, but they dropped Jumanji 3's trailer.
I didn't even watch Jumanji 1 or 2.
Well, there's a trailer, and it's got Danny DeVito in it.
Oh, my God.
That's why I bring it up.
Frank?
It's Danny DeVito, man.
That's awesome.
So if y'all want to see it,
I'll watch it.
I'll leave it here. It ain't that long. They've changed the movie up. I saw the first Jumanji. It wasn't that bad. It had Jack Black in. I'll watch anything with Jack Black in. Even a house with 2 clocks in it. I don't know what it's called. Like,
I'd watch that too.
Yeah, I'll watch this now. I saw this popped up. This has got Daniel Craig in it, right?
It looks really fucking good.
You seen the trailer?
Yeah, I watched it earlier.
This is the one you dropped earlier. Did you drop something earlier today? Yeah.
That was
I clicked on it and I was like, no, not now. And I backed out because I realized it was a trailer. Let me know when y'all ready on the Knives Out trailer. Griffin, you didn't rate the movie. Yeah. Were you trying to creep out on the rate? You didn't rate it. Did you rate it? I don't think you did. Maybe. Full star. Does it get a podcast Death Star? It gets a Death Star, dude. He gets a Night Star. Y'all ready? Here we go. 3, 2, 1, play. I actually had you muted. Griffith gave it a full star. She looks familiar. He looks familiar. Bettina. A lot of candles. Oh, she's old. Is this a murder mystery? It's Daniel Clue. Yeah. Fun fact, that's what Captain America did all that time when he was gone. That's what's her name, right? Oh my God, dude. She's playing an old lady. Look at this cast, man. Look at that camera angle. I'm down to watch that.
It looks pretty interesting,
What I
right?
like about the trailer is they really didn't show you a lot.
Nothing. Yeah.
You don't know what's going on there. That's a
Yeah.
good
All
trailer.
it really showed you was he was able to afford a lot of good actors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's in it? Well, the script's got to,
Everybody.
in order for some of the faces and the names that you see there, script's got to be good, right?
Yeah. Gotta be.
So I've got Jumanji 3 up and ready.
Yeah, I'm ready on that one.
3, 2, 1, play. The next level. Here we go. I've been trying to figure out what he's from, dude. What's he from? He's the brother. He's the brother in Hereditary. Look here. Look who we got. Nah, because Spencer's inside the game. Watch this shit, y'all. Y'all ain't ready for this. I didn't even know there was a second one. It's the next level, too, man. Different than the last. How many Jumanji fucking movies are they going to make? First one was pretty good, dude. Was that Nick Jonas? It was. Look at these bridges, dude. What the fuck? That's a hard boss. Right here. Here it comes. Right here. That ain't bad, man.
Looks alright.
Have you guys seen the first one?
No.
It's funny. Got Jack Black in it and fucking Kevin Hart, dude.
They're a good team.
Yeah. Well, Kevin Hart's
Yeah.
like, I don't want to die. You know?
Yeah.
Hey guys, we don't know what we're gonna watch next week. We don't have anything to watch next week. Let's just watch the news. I'm just kidding.
Pass. I don't think people want to hear our take on what's going on in the world.
Yeah. Trump in North Korea.
It's beautiful.
I love it. I love the mountains. I love Kim. He loves me.
They're disarming all of their bombs, okay?
Yeah. Nuclear weapons. Okay. We're going to build a wall around a sand dune, you know?
Doesn't North Korea already have a wall around it?
They got a border.
I mean, their border has a wall. Why can't our border have a wall?
I mean, hey, dude, slow your roll. You're going to upset people. Let's see if I have anything in the tap here. Let me look through because we're caught up, dude.
Is the
I'm throwing this out there. What are you about to say?
The man who killed Don Quixote?
That is available, but also Pet Cemetery is available.
Ooh.
Blu-ray.
Oh.
The Beach Bum is available. I will say this. Watch the first 15 minutes. Rather watch Pet Cemetery.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They said that this was the stoner comedy to beat all stoner comedies.
Well, we could line up some movies. We can line up some movies, throw them in a generator. See what old fucking. All I'm saying is, would you guys like to see Pet Cemetery?
I wouldn't mind watching
it. The original was wicked.
Wow.
Wasn't it wicked?
What about Midsommar? Is it out yet?
I believe it is. Wait, is it? Nah, that's not. I was going back to shit that I clicked on, and that was a trailer. So no.
Oh well, I'm still in favor of watching Metropolis.
Oh yeah.
That'll be my throw into the pile.
Who was the guy that did that Midsommar movie?
The guy who did Hereditary.
It's the same guy who did Hereditary.
Okay.
Griffin's gonna love this one.
Yeah, I hope so. Hereditary wasn't bad. It was just more of the same.
I'm gonna drag you kicking and screaming through this fucking genre until I find one.
I liked Hereditary, man. It wasn't that bad.
I thought it was okay.
All right, here's what we got. What was that? The Battle Angel. What was that one movie?
Alita.
Y'all know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw that a while back. That was available.
I'm interested in seeing it. It looks like something. It looks like something. Oh, Brightburn.
That's available.
Let's do that next week.
Well, that's on Netflix.
Is it?
I think it is. Well, if it's not, I saw it. It's up there in the cloud.
I think we should do that, just to be completely honest.
Also, wait. Let me go make sure before I say this shit. Because I think I'm going to change everyone's mind. I think we have our next lineup, and we can put this in the system and suck and fuck it. All right, you ready? Yep, ready. Here it is. Hellboy.
Okay, yeah.
Hellboy's out there.
What do you think, Trav? Hellboy?
Who wants to see Hellboy? But here's what we can do, man.
I didn't hear a single word you just said, Adam.
Hellboy.
All I heard was, okay. I thought you said.
You heard Hellboy.
All I heard was hell.
We could put all of those in the generator.
And you're suddenly loud as shit in my head.
Man, turn it down. We could put the Battle Angel. We could put Brightburn, Hellboy, and Pet Cemetery in a generator. Y'all want to watch all those movies?
Yeah.
I want to see Pet Cemetery. It's got John Lithgow in it, dude. Yeah, he's gonna be hilarious.
Is he?
I don't know. But we could put those in a generator, dude, and then just there goes the next fucking
4 weeks.
yeah.
So what are our choices?
Hellboy, Alita, Brightburn, Pet Cemetery. Is there anything else that's out that y'all want to throw in here?
Let me look. Dumbo. Pass. Escape Plan. City of Lies. Hey, I would like to say this to our podcast friends. I watched a murder mystery. That's that new Adam Sandler movie.
Uh-huh.
Kind of funny.
Not bad.
Not podcast worthy, but kind of funny.
Right.
It's like it's like Clue on a fucking yacht. And Adam Sandler's the cop.
So sounds all right. Has it got his familiar cast of
Nope.
Rousers? Oh, really?
No, it's all different. It's got Jennifer Aniston in it though. This hot Asian chick.
Okay. Well, do you want me to run with these 4?
That's
right
a
now?
month.
I'm down.
You gonna run them 3 times?
Sure.
I hope Hellboy's first.
1, 2.
I hope Hellboy's first.
3. No. Alita's first, Brightburn, Hellboy, and Pet Cemetery.
How do y'all feel about that?
I'm okay with it.
Fine with me.
Let me write it down, because somebody's got to remember this. Griffin used to remember stuff.
I'm saving a screenshot.
I still got to write it. Will you send that to me? Will you post it in the thing? In the chat? So I can get those and put them in order and put them where they need to be?
Yep.
All right, cool.
It's got the timestamp, the IP, and
Now
everything.
this Alita, like, is that a comic book? I mean, where's that? How do y'all know about that?
It's
anime. What? Oh.
Yeah. So but it's got.
I want to rewind back about 3 minutes. No, I'm just kidding.
No, it's live action.
I wanna.
Robert Rodriguez directed.
Yeah, but it's got a lot of James Cameron shit going on.
Yeah.
Like he's got his fingers all over that movie.
Her eyes are really big.
It's a CGI movie.
Oh, it's got the dude in it that was in the movie where he takes the guy through the South. The black dude. He's in it, man. I bet he's the bad guy.
Ali Marshalla.
Yeah, whatever,
Yeah. And it's got Christoph Waltz in it. So.
Oh, wait for the cream,
Right. All right, guys, I gotta go. I gotta go to bed.
You post that? All right, it's in there. All right, guys. So next week we're watching a movie, and yeah, keep it real, right?
Oh yeah.